This fight being 1 second longer than Tyson Spinks. A minute 32 instead of a minute 31. It was, as you started to point out again, Larry, a left hook.
Williams was very unhappy at the end of that. Randy Newman, the referee, asked him a question, obviously about how he felt or what his name was or where he was, and apparently he got the wrong answer because he stopped the fight immediately. I didn't see any reason to stop the fight, and I'm curious to see what that answer was, and I'm going into the ring to see if I can find out.
Good luck, Larry. A minute 33, Larry. It was 2 seconds longer than the Spinks fight. The unofficial demarcation of the knockout comes at 1:33 of the first round, and you can see a disgusted Carl Williams who thinks that he should have been allowed to continue. And Ray, I've got to agree with Larry. It was a fairly peremptory stoppage.
Well, the way I judge it, because he appeared to be okay, but then again, the referee is closer to the pitcher than we are.
What was that question likely to be?
Like, where are you? What day is this? And here we see the left hook that put Williams down. Williams had dropped that right hand, and I had indicated earlier that the jab will be the key, but in throwing the left jab, he must also keep that right hand up and power. There's that left hook.
And you saw Mike pivot upward with both feet planted and turn the hips into the punch. This is where the power comes from.
The reason people fear Mike Tyson, because he's one of the few, if not the only man, that can knock you out in the heavyweight division with one punch.
Here's another look at the devastating left hook.
And what Tyson does here, he bobs and weaves, gets under that jab and counters with a beautiful left hook.
Perfectly timed as Williams was dropping the right hand, just as you said he did after throwing the jab.
Well, what happened for Williams is the fact that his left hand, his left jab rather, was working, and he felt very comfortable.
That was a look back at the conversation between Randy Newman and Carl Williams, which led to the stoppage.
Mike Tyson, as usual, awesome.
I'm reminded of a night in the Meadowlands in New Jersey when a referee stopped a bout between Mike Rossman and Victor Galindez. After a similar conversation, Rossman, the victim of the knockout, he chased the ref across the ring yelling, "What was the right answer?" And
with Randy Newman, the referee of the fight. Obviously, the people in and out of the ring are unhappy that the fight was stopped. Randy, why did you stop the fight?
When he got up at 8, he was wobbly. He wasn't standing up. He was leaning against the ropes. I asked him a question, a very simple question. How do you feel? Not for the answer, but to see how he responded. His eyes were blank. His expression was blank. He had no answer.
Is there any chance that he misunderstood what you wanted him to respond to?
I don't think so. Let me tell you why. He's had a lot of professional fights and a lot of amateur fights. When a fighter is knocked down, and I had 38 fights, when a fighter is knocked down, the first thing he wants to prove when he gets up to the referee is that he's in good shape. Number one, he wasn't standing on his feet. He was leaning on the ropes. Number two, he couldn't answer me. And number three, his eyes were dead.
Thank you very much, Randy. And now back to ringside.
All right, thanks very much, Larry, and thank you for pointing out that the crowd is booing, as there were obviously a fair number within this congregation who did not feel that the bout should have been stopped quite so quickly. Randy Newman with a decisive and clear-headed answer to the questions. He knows exactly why he did what he did.
Well, Newman is a competent referee. In fact, that he must have saw something in Williams that we didn't apparently see. But from the outside looking in, it appeared that Williams got up and was able to compose himself. But then again, I think it's left up to the referee.
All right, once again, Mike, the interview has to be longer than the fight. I'm sorry about that. What happened from your point of view? Did you see him really dazed?
Well, no, I noticed my trainers would tell me we were slipping and hooking. So when we slip, because usually